Folks, welcome back again. This is Chris with Indaba Africa. This is a follow-up with analysis on video from my initial breaking news report about the events unfolding in Senekal in the Free State in South Africa in response to the arraignment of two suspects in the brutal political assassination, domestic terrorism, murder of young farm manager Brendan Horner, 21 years of age, in the Free State last week. Two suspects to be arraigned today, and the events are unfolding. And so I'm going to talk about some footage that's come live from the scene, and I'm going to give you analysis on that as we go forward. First off, the first video you're going to see here is a peaceful gathering of thousands of South Africans who've turned up to show their revulsion at what's happening and unfolding in South Africa as the South African government, its police minister, and its president deny the reality and lie to the world about violence in rural South Africa. So this is a peaceful gathering, as you can see from this video, of people outside the courthouse in the town of Senekal in the Free State in South Africa. Now this is where things get a little wonky. As we can see, people angry, those not really protesters, they're not there to protest, but to show solidarity. A group of folks, including farmers, attempts to enter the courthouse. They enter the courthouse in large numbers, and it's unclear who's at the front of this. It may be the suspects. It's unclear. I don't know. We don't have full information, and we'll have to assess that later from eyewitness testimony. But what we do see clearly here is a large group of people entering the building and lots of shouting as they move through the building. No one's being attacked, but moving through the building. And then shots ring out. At least 2, possibly 3 shots are fired. Now, News 24, for its part, is already fraudulently reporting fake news, claiming that the protesters fired these shots and blaming the South Africans who've gathered in revulsion at firing the shots. Numerous eyewitnesses reported that the police fired the rounds. It's unclear who fired them. Initially, it was even unclear if it were rounds based on the video because there were flashbang grenades being thrown by the police irresponsibly outside the building. But it does appear, based on the sound, that these were gunshots fired inside the building. So unsure what's happening there, but this is that video there. In what appears to be a response to the situation unfolding inside the courthouse, it's unclear whether the SAPs radioed for assistance or they simply responded to gunshots being fired. But what we do see are 2 armored vehicles, which appear to be police Caspers, driving recklessly down the road, in which pedestrians are walking across the road and with little regard for their life, driving at reckless speed, and then approaching. One of the vehicles drives towards the courthouse. And in this unconfirmed information, apparently from eyewitnesses, the vehicle drove into the courthouse. I don't imagine that was intentional. That was probably an overreaction. But apparently a large number of farmers present and those present started to push the vehicle back away, although this is quite a heavy vehicle, so I find it difficult to find if they pushed it back. But pushed it back and eventually turned around left. If you see the video, there's a video with them from News 24 in which the bumper has dust and debris on the bottom of it, which makes it appear as if it has in fact run into something. But this is where the police rush in. You'll notice one of the vehicles then backs away to a safe distance as the other one approaches.
Dekking! Nee, jullie gaan nooit niks opmaken. Nee, dat blijft ze niet. Nou gaan ons.
Manu!
Kom, even mijn bakje eten. Ravi? Gaan.
In this video, we see a flashbang grenade thrown by a police officer for no apparent reason. Now, we don't have all the information. We're not the police officer why he threw this grenade, but the person videotaping this on their mobile phone has the police officer and the vehicle clearly in their sights and is recording, and a grenade comes flying in that direction and lands dangerously close to this individual. There's no activity taking place that would threaten or call for the use of lethal force or non-lethal force whatsoever in this situation. The police were driving recklessly. A vehicle was driving safely down the street and had hit its horn to stop the police vehicle from backing up recklessly with no ground guides directing the vehicle. And then the police officer, for what appears to be no apparent reason, throws a flashbang grenade, and then the vehicle speeds off in a cowardly retreat. In this video, we see the South African Police Service retreating from the scene. Notice how no one present has a weapon. No one present is offering any resistance to the police. No one present when they retreat in this scene is challenging the police in any way. Standing around peacefully taking videos and causing no problems. Not a single person appears to be armed with anything. No pangas, no asigis, no shields, no firearms, no sticks, no rocks, no burning tires. Peacefully assembled, and the police run away.
Nou trek die Nialas weer uit. Die publiek het hulle by die hofgebou uitgestoot. Nou onttrek hier die Nialas weer. Hulle het nou net traangas daar binne gegooi ook.
And finally here, and something that the news will no doubt regale in, and we'll see international news coverage focus on this, but clearly what appears to be an act of criminal activity, a police vehicle is flipped over. Don't know the reason why it was flipped over, and we'll have to talk to eyewitnesses to find out what happened there. And then later, this vehicle appears to be lit. It's been set alight and is burning. That's unwarranted behavior, and that is criminal conduct. However, this appears to be the only instance of criminal conduct taking place in this peaceful assembly of South Africans expressing their revulsion at this situation. As I said, we already seen News 24 posting fake news stories about this, claiming that the farmers fired shots, untrue based on numerous eyewitness accounts, which came out before News 24 even ran their story. What I do see, however, here is this vehicle turned over and on fire, and that's not acceptable. Not sure what the basis for that was. But also need to confirm whether, in fact, the SAPS vehicle did run into the building. Folks, this is distressing. This is unfortunate. It's a shame that the police have the wherewithal, the presence, and the personnel to show up for a peaceful demonstration like this, yet they stand by idly while EFF spurred on thugs dig up roads all over South Africa. They dig up coal-tarred, blacktop surface roads and obstruct traffic and attack pedestrians in Durban and multiple locations across South Africa. The police are not present when EFF leader Julius Malema incites domestic terrorism against Clicks, a retail store, over an advertisement from a third-party Tresemme. Police are nowhere to be found, ladies and gentlemen, yet they show up in force here. The African National Congress shames itself. It shames any viable reputation it had as a liberation movement through its ludicrous governance of South Africa. It's time for South Africans to recognize their government has failed and to vote them out of office in each of the next two elections, 2021 municipal elections, 2024 national elections. This party has no business in governance anywhere, and the voters should decide. Folks, if you found this video to be interesting or informative, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you like, and I ask that you smash the like button because likes drive viewership. Thank you so much for your patronage, your support, and I hope that this video is helpful as we assess what happened in Senekal today, the 6th of October, 2020.
Ja, nou dat je praat.
Maar hij zal wel even zijn petrolpijpje raakbranden.
Hij gaat hem nou volgen.
Hij gaat